viewers, this is Gazza here and welcome to Detecting Oz. Today I've returned to an area where I've been to a few times recently and found a few coins on every hunt, so I'm back here again today. It's a lovely sunny, fairly early morning. I'm out here with my Manticore again, and yeah, I've been going for a while. I went over the other side of the road to have a go, and there's only rubbish here. I never found anything of interest really. I'm right near a bush where I found a Victorian penny the last time I was here, but I've sort of been around this area and I haven't found any more. This is probably the most interesting find so far. It's just an old lipstick container. I think it's got the letter M on the bottom, or something like that anyhow. Alright, let's carry on and hopefully we'll do a bit better shortly. Oh, a great signal under this bush. So I'll dig that and see what it is. And it only turned out to be an old bottle cap. Oh well. Let's carry on. And just coming away from that little bush, and in the long grass here, I've got a great signal, and look what we have here. We have our first silver for the day. Oh, it's a little sixpence, I think. 1950. Lovely. I've got a fairly strong signal in the 50s, so I thought it might be another sixpence. But it's not a sixpence, it's Australia. Not often you find Australia. So what that is, I don't know. Little pin or something. Don't know what that would have come off, but anyhow. I was just coming down this area here. I haven't found much up there, and back down the hill, and I got a good signal. Now that's a very sweet signal. Let's give that a dig and see what it might be. I suppose I'll be struck with the curse of the live dig, and it'll just be rubbish, but we can only just give it a go. Lost it actually. Swing the detector over it again. Alright, it's out here. As you can hear, my battery's nearly had it in pinpointer. I'll have to go and change it. I think I've got another one in the ute somewhere. Oh, look at that. There's a coin, but it's only yeah, 2 cents. Oh well, this is what they call an anti-climax, I think. It's supposed to be something better than that, but anyhow, it's still a coin. Alright, let's carry on. Okay, as I'm coming down the hill, I got a good signal. It was only about 40. I thought, yeah, no, that's just probably a pull tab. Anyhow, sounded pretty positive, and this came out. A couple of young lovebirds kissing. This is very close to where I found that Australia, so yeah, that's interesting. I'm just going to have another go in this area. There's lots of trash through here, but I have found the odd coin through here as well. So I just thought I might change the mode to all-terrain high conductors, and when you change the mode you're supposed to do another noise cancel. Very good. Now, going up to ground balance, I've always been using tracking up till now. I might just pause it for a minute here. In recent times I've had a bit of a rethink about ground balance settings after watching a YouTube video, so I thought it was time to go back to the manual and have a proper read of the ground balance section. It was then that I came across this paragraph. The default ground balance setting of 0 is recommended for all-terrain modes because these locations typically have less mineralisation than gold prospecting locations. However, if the ground is generating many noise signals and or the sensitivity level is set very low, then using auto ground balance is recommended. An auto ground balance is where you hold the button down and pump the coil to get the correct reading, which, come to think of it, is the same ground balance setting that I used on my old Equinox. Probably lots of Manticore users out there yelling, "Didn't you know that?" So this is just for the benefit of those that didn't read their owner's manual properly, like me, and weren't aware of this. So, in the light of this, now is put this on 0. Oops, it's gone minus. Okay, there we go. So I'll try that, see how it goes, if there's any difference or not. Okay, let's carry on. And look what just came out. Cover from a pocket watch, and it looks to be quite an ornate one as well. No doubt that one's silver. It's got a few hallmarks and so on the back. Excellent. Right, I got a good signal out of this in amongst a lot of junk. Came in about 77, I think, on the Manticore, and it's one of those shoulder badges for the military, for the army or whatever. It's a bit bent, but yeah, I haven't found one of these for a while. Very nice. Well, it's a beautiful morning. I haven't found much for a fair while now, but out of this hole came a buckle. First one for today. And here's my second buckle for the day, but it's a bit bigger than the last one. It's huge. Wow. One of the biggest ones that I've ever found. Now out of this hole there was a signal, it was about 40. I thought, oh yeah, probably a pull tab. But anyhow, that's sort of right in the pull tab numbers. But here I spy a very little coin. Looks like George VI, 1951. Always a very common date. And out of this hole, a very scrappy signal, but I decided to dig it, and I ended up with a fork. Geez, this one had me fooled. I thought it was a big silver coin. It's just part of a plate or something out of a pocket watch, I think. And here we've dug the old doorknob. You always find these, very common find. After digging heaps of rubbish and going for a fair while for not much reward, finally I got a good signal here, and I reckon we have a copper coin, a penny. It's probably just a yeah, just a kangaroo penny. 1959, is it, or 2? If it's 19, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyhow, I'll clean that one up when I get home. Alright, yeah, a lot of the coins I found around this area have sort of dated from about that period. Must have been when the rubbish was thrown here. Oh well, we had a fork before, and now we've got a spoon. All we need is a knife. After digging lots of trash for a long time, you think no good things are ever going to come out. And I've got a signal here that sounded very similar to a lot of others that were trash. But, look what we have there. That looks very, very interesting. Oh, look at that. The find of the day. Looks like some sort of a military badge or something similar. Wow, that's a great find. These are always something really special. Still got the wire hanging at the back. And it just sounded exactly the same as a lot of other trash that I've dug today. Fantastic. Find of the day so far. Alright, out of this hole I've just dug this. Not real sure what it is, but about 2 minutes ago I dug this one over here. So obviously they fit together. First of all, I thought it might be part of a pocket watch or something, but it was hinged there, so I don't know what was in there. Container of some sort. Perhaps it was filled with gold sovereigns. I'll just have to look for the sovereigns. Couldn't be that lucky, could I? Alright, and here's a star. Not sure what that is. I'd say it was probably part of a furniture fitting or something. Perhaps a brass and iron bed or whatever they had years ago. I dug a signal here and it was rubbish, thank goodness, because I certainly wouldn't want to get in amongst all them. Anyhow, I'm just doing a bit of a circuit, going back to the ute before I leave for home, and I've got a good signal here, but I don't think it's anything terribly special. It just looks like an old 2-cent coin, and that's all it is. And here's today's second buckle. Alright, it's nearly time for me to go home, so yeah, it's been a good little hunt. Certainly lots of junk, but a few nice things as well. Okay, catch you in the review. Here's today's trash pile. Like they say, you got to dig the trash to get the good stuff. And I certainly did that today. Okay, well here's some relics from today. There's the old doorknob and the harmonica reed. Fancy brass looking fitting. I reckon it'd probably come off a brass and iron bed. Lipstick tube. It's got M on the bottom. I'm not really into my lipsticks, but I reckon that could be Max Factor. Then there was the old padlock keyhole cover. It's got patent secure VR written on it. There's a fork and a spoon, and there's just a brass ring thingy. And here's this little box which I found in 2 pieces close by to each other. It's actually got some writing on it. It says Lady Fayere. Now I looked on the internet and that was a jewellery company, so this box would have originally held some jewellery. Unfortunately, I missed out on the jewellery and just ended up with the box. Oh well, not even any sovereigns. Okay, well there's 3 buckles there, small, medium and large. And the large one still has a rusty iron tongue attached. Okay, well that's a few of today's relics, and now we'll move on to the better stuff. And first up, here's the Kissing Kids. Probably part of a necklace or perhaps even a bracelet. And here's Australia. It's a bit bent up, but it cleaned up beautifully. And that's because it's made of sterling silver. That rod at the back was sort of bent right down, and I managed to straighten it a bit, and underneath are the letters P, P and M, Co, B and S. Normally something like this you'd think it would be a badge or a pin, but with that rod sticking out the back, I'm not really sure what it's from. And continuing with today's silver finds, here's the fob watch cover with beautiful ornate design that I hadn't come across before, and it polished up really nicely too. And turning it over, you can see all the hallmarks on this side. One night I spent a lot of time in front of the internet looking at pages and pages of different hallmarks to try and work out what all this means. And what I found out was the AGR stands for Arthur George Rendell, who was the watchmaker or sponsor. The leaf design in the oval is the mark of the Chester Assay Office, and the big letter K in the square area is the date letter, and from what I could work out, this one is 1910. As for the number under the AGR stamp and the letter X further down, I don't really know what that's all about. When I looked at this image, I noticed on the right hand side there's 6 notches in the edge, and I also noticed something that I hadn't noticed before. On the lower left hand side there seems to be some scratchings. So I took a closer look at these scratchings, and I can quite clearly see the letter W, then 22nd of the 8th, 19. And there's some other scratchings a bit further around, but I can't really work out what it says. Apparently it's quite common for these watch cases to have scratchings in them made by the jewellers who did the servicing on them. So if my research is correct, now I know that the watch that this cover belonged to is dated from 1910 and it was serviced in 1919. It's great when you can find out a little bit more about the items you dig up. I also saw that these smaller pocket watches were described as ladies' pocket watches, and with this beautiful floral design, I can well imagine that that would be true. Alright, let's move on to the coins. Here's the penny I found today. It's dated 1952. 2 silver coins, a 1950 sixpence and a 1951 threepence, which is a bit damaged on the side. And here's the Australian military shoulder badge. As you saw, it was pretty bent up when I dug it, but I managed to straighten it up fairly well. And what I reckon is the find of the day, and another military item, is this badge. I did a little bit of research and I think it's a warrant officer's badge. It's actually a 2-piece badge, and the backing plate is held on with a bit of wire. So with some nice bits of silver and a couple of pieces of militaria, I actually did quite well today. I'm quite pleased with today's hunt. It's always nice to find something a bit different than what you usually find. Okay, well that's about all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all again next time.